I want to be honest with you guys, I love amusement parks, but I'm scared of roller coasters. I've been on some roller coasters before. They were fun, but I mean like these really fast ones with several loopings where it's so dark that you can barely see your own hands. These type of roller coasters. Hopefully, my fear of roller coasters won't rise after this video, because these 10 amusement parks accidents gonna be really crazy.
10 crazy amusement park accidents. Ride of Steel, Darien Lake. U.S. Army Sergeant James Hackemer wanted to try every roller coaster at Darien Lake theme park, provided it was suitably safe to accommodate a double amputee such as himself. The Iraq war vet had no reason to worry after receiving assurances that he'd be fine on the Ride of Steel. Sitting right at the front, Hackemer fell through the harness on the ride's first incline and fell to a brutal, tragic death. Neither the lap bar nor the seatbelt restraints were able to sufficiently secure Hackemer.
That's crazy.
Action Park.
Why would you let him even on the ride?
Action Park even lasted as long as it did.
Without having
these... represented
these...
a perfect storm of unsafe rides, some drunken and belligerent patrons, and plenty of disinterested teenage employees. A litany of incidents as the park resulted in at least 6 deaths from a variety of causes that ranged from heart attack to electrocution to drownings. Electrocution? In one particular incident, a man was killed when the car he was riding in came off the tracks of the Alpine slide, causing him to smash his head on a rock below. The Cyclone, Coney Island. The Cyclone roller coaster has become such a historic fixture within Coney Island. The ride isn't a stranger to ignominy, although 2 rider deaths in the 80s
They're skiing the roller coaster? That's insane.
Behavior. One particular rickety ride on July 31st, 2007, however, left 53-year-old California man Keith Shirasawa in pain with numbness in his fingers. After being admitted to the hospital with what was later diagnosed as a broken neck, Shirasawa died days later due to complications of his injury. Puff the Little Fire Dragon, Lagoon Amusement Park. Sadly, it isn't just the high-impact coaster.
Yo, that picture can't be real.
The first recorded ride-related death in the long history of the Lagoon
Amusement Park
came on the popular children's ride, Puff the Little Fire Dragon. On May 1st, 1989, 6-year-old Ryan Beckstead managed to wrest himself free of the ride's restraining devices and stood up as the ride was leaving the station. He quickly fell out of the moving car, but wasn't seriously hurt by the relatively short fall. However, he attempted to climb back onto the tracks just as another car was arriving, and he was struck and is believed to have died on impact.
Oh my gosh.
6 Flags, Kentucky. The Superman Tower of Power vertical drop ride at 6 Flags, Kentucky probably felt more like it was based on the character of Spider-Man's supervillain Dr. Octopus for a group of teenage girls in July of 2007. As the girls ascended on the ride, they became horrified upon noticing a number of support cables breaking loose and beginning to whip out freely. Their pleading screams for the ride to be shut off fell on deaf ears, and the cables viciously snapped back and forth as the riders were dropped in a free fall. Many passengers were injured from the cables, and one girl was forced to have both feet amputated. Flight Commander, Kings Island. There's an old adage that no publicity is bad publicity, but you still have to wonder whether an amusement park really wants to host the sci-fi program Ghost Hunters amidst rumors of hauntings. The haunted reputation of Kings Island stems from a tragic, deadly two-incident day at the park in June 9th, 1991. First, William Haithcote and park employee Daryl Robertson were both fatally electrocuted while trying to save another guest who had fallen into a pond. About an hour later, 32-year-old Candy Taylor was killed when she fell from the park's flight commander. Despite a truly dark day, the park remains open. Haunted reputation and all. Batman the Ride, 6 Flags
falling from a roller coaster, that's so scary.
The park bears the brunt of the responsibility in making their rides safe and secure, but guests also have to know not to put themselves in the line of fire. That lesson hadn't been passed down onto a young park goer on June 28, 2008 at the Batman Ride in 6 Flags over Georgia. Having earlier lost his hat on the ride, he opted to jump 2 fences to retrieve it, soon getting decapitated thanks to his dangerous proximity to the ride. Fujin Raijin 2, Expoland. For 37 years, Osaka, Japan's Expoland was a popular, thriving amusement park with more than 40 rides and attractions. Then came tragedy on May 5, 2007. The country's worst amusement park disaster occurred when the Fujin Raijin 2 roller coaster derailed, killing one 19-year-old university student and injuring 19 others. When an investigation into the accident revealed a broken axle, it was revealed that the axles hadn't been replaced in 15 years.
That's crazy.
The park reopened a month later but was closed permanently shortly thereafter on account of poor attendance. Hydro, Oakwood Theme Park. The Hydro Water roller coaster at the Oakwood theme park in Wales was known for its signature drop, but in April 2004, 16-year-old Hayley Williams faced a tragic plunge of an entirely different nature. While riding Hydro, Williams fell out of her car and dropped 100 feet, sustaining internal injuries that ultimately led to her death. The park was fined almost $400,000 for negligence after it was discovered that employees had habitually failed to check the bars and seatbelts that held riders in place. The Big Dipper Battersea Fun Fair. England's Battersea Fun Fair has the infamous, notorious distinction of being home to the worst roller coaster tragedy in history.
Scary.
In 1972,
I mean, you go there to have
wooden
fun.
coaster known as the Big Dipper served as the park's signature attraction,
And
despite
people
its
actually
riskiness
dying
and high level
there.
of required maintenance that demanded constant and meticulous attention.
Oh my gosh,
In May of
that
that
could be
year,
all-
a
that
rope
is a
that
horror
brought
story.
the cars to the top
It
of the
is.
hill snapped, and the anti-rollback feature failed, leaving a chain of speeding cars to smash into a wall at full speed.
Oh
The
my.
accident killed 5 children and injured 13 more, with the park closing 2 years later on account of the negligence associated with the disaster.
That's so sad. Guys, imagine going to the amusement parks with some friends. I mean, you go there to have fun, and then you just fall off of a roller coaster or one of your friends, and you die or get really extremely injured. That's crazy. I mean, some of the people had luck, if you're gonna call that luck, because they survived, but also a lot of them died, and that is pretty crazy. So now I have an actual reason not to go on those extreme roller coasters. Let me know in the comments down below what your most extreme amusement park experience was. I'm very curious. Have an amazing day, and see you guys next time.